If you are stuck overthinking every decision in your business and worrying about the next steps constantly, this one is for you. So, in this video, we are going to discuss the quickest ways to interrupt the patterns that keep you and your private practice stagnant. If you have been finding my content helpful, I invite you to like, comment, subscribe, all the things to be able to get this information out to more private practice owners that would benefit. And I also invite you to take my 2-minute Are You the Bottleneck quiz to find out who or what is slowing down your progress. So when I had my private practice, I was always in my head. And I have mentioned this before, where I was checking off my mental to-do list. I was thinking about things that hadn't even happened yet. And I was also thinking about all these things that could go wrong and problem solving those. And then eventually they happened. And we've talked about that in previous videos as to why, but I digress. So this got me literally nowhere fast. And I felt trapped. And I was in my head all the time. So the worrying, the overthinking, and the overanalyzing is what impedes flow. And that ultimately is going to stop you from your success, establishing sustainability and your ability to scale your business. So the key takeaway to getting unstuck, unlocking creative blocks, solving problems, all literally can be resolved with presence. So I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time I was fully present when working either in or on my business? So I've got my stick figure here and I've written some letters because at some point I'm going to get a bigger whiteboard. This actually is the bigger whiteboard, but I need an even bigger one if I'm going to continue to write all the things I want to write. So there's 3 different levels to presence, right? So P is for being physically present, right? So that is literally being physically present in a location, but your attention or mentally you are elsewhere, which leads us to the M, which is mentally present, right? So that is where you're like half in, half out. So you're partially paying attention, but your attention is really elsewhere. And for me, and this is where I found myself for pretty much the entire time I had my private practice. And then lastly is T, which I'm sure you could guess is total presence, right? So that is achieving being present not only mentally, but physically. So we're going to talk about, the how, and then leading into various strategies and ways to get there. So what we're going to talk about is this. So the how is taking a pause and observing. So what do I mean by that? Pausing and observing. That's the key to everything. When in doubt, do nothing. That is always going to be what I recommend. If you don't know what to do nothing. Because if we continue to do all the time, we're not going to get anywhere. And that is literally the patterns that I saw within my private practice journey for years. So you're going to pause and observe. And the ways that we can do this is we're going to dive through is really going to be with your 5 senses and a bonus because it changes everything. So when we think about obviously what we are hearing, right? When we pause and we observe, we get quiet. And sometimes quiet can be deafening. But these are all ways, again, to tap into being present because we are fast tracking when we're always in action. We do get tunnel vision, right? And we don't see another way to do things. We don't see other opportunities. We don't see the answers and the solutions that are right in front of our face. So when we pause and observe, what do we hear? We got really quiet. What do you hear? Do you hear absolutely nothing? Do you hear the air circulating within your environment? Do you hear a clock ticking? If you have, I do, an old school clock and I can hear the second hand, right? What are you hearing? Can you even hear your own thoughts? And when you get quiet enough, is it just running on this like endless loop? Does it feel like it's bombarding you? Do you have a hard time quieting your mind? You can go back to earlier videos and or even my Fear Chronicles podcast, which is false evidence appearing real, which I go a lot deeper into observership and meditation, because these are key. Again, ways to tap into presence. So then I kind of started combining things because I ran out of space on my whiteboard. But when we think about seeing, I will do this with my children sometimes, and I do it myself. So sometimes when we are not fully present, a really quick, easy way is to literally stop, take a look around, and name 3 things that you see. Why? Because it brings you back again to this present moment, not up in your head, not what you need to do next on your to do list, what's happening in the now. Where am I and what do I see? Right. And when you are stopping or you're taking that pause and you're observing, and you're in your office or in your home or your home office, whatever the case may be, when you're looking and you're naming things, how does your environment look? Observe that. Does it look organized? Are things in its place? Like, does it look cluttered? All of these things are gonna make a difference. Even though you think you're zoning it out and it's not really a problem, it is noise and it is distracting to your brain. Because again, your brain is constantly filtering through that reticular activating system, and all of that stuff is still getting absorbed and filtered, whether you think you're paying attention to it or not. And it also, when it comes to energy pieces, everything is energy. So when you have a cluttered environment and you have cluttered things and everything is just kind of strewn around and nothing really has its own place, or it's not really visually appealing or aesthetically pleasing to you, that also will play a part. I digress, but I thought I would mention that because when we're looking around, we're seeing that that is important. So, naming things that we see in our environment. It can be 3, it can be more, whatever helps bring you back kind of to the now is what we're talking about here. And then, and checking in with your environment. Then, moving on to feeling. So this can be in a multitude of ways, but I'm only going to talk about a few for the sake of this video. But when we stop and we feel, the main thing I would encourage you to do is what you feel inside your body right now. Now, this could be emotions, but first and foremost, what are you feeling in your body? Are you feeling tension anywhere? If so, where is the tension? Is it in your neck? Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your back? Is it, like you got to pull muscle in your, like, what is going on in your body right now? And then you can move even further beyond that, right? So, what are you feeling? Are you thirsty? Are you hungry or hangry at this point? Like, really tapping in. And then, if you are any of those things, go take care of that, because you need to take care of yourself. Maybe you've been so in your head and so trying to knock off 20 things on your to do list that you haven't eaten, which was me for a long time, right? So, I hadn't eaten, hadn't actually drank water, just coffee, and all of these things. So checking in with your body and what's going on right now. Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Do I have pain? Am I holding my breath even? Am I not actually breathing? These are all things that brings you back to the now and also helps reconnect you to your body. All really key points. And also, like, temperature wise, you could be like, am I hot? Am I cold? Like, all of these things help you bring you back to the now, or present, and within your body. Again, super simple, not always easy to stay there, but ways to kind of help bring you back, bring you back. This is all about bringing you back to the present moment and being present with yourself. Because again, that's going to help you do all of these things that you want to do in your business, but you got to be here now, not in your head, not in the future, not in the past, but here now. What is happening right now? What are you doing right now? How do you feel right now? Okay. Then moving on to taste. So this can be kind of funny, but like, you're probably not eating, or I've for years ate at my desk, but it could be, do you have coffee breath? Do you need a mint? Do you want to chew some gum? Or have you been chewing on the same piece of gum for 3 hours because you lost track of time? All of these things, right? Do you feel like you need to brush your teeth? Like, what is going on in your mouth right now? What are you tasting? What's going on? Bring you back here. What's going on right now? And then of course, then there's touch, right? So this can also be different ways to tap back in. But let's even just start with like, what are you what are you wearing? But the clothes that you are wearing. If you're wearing shoes, are your shoes comfortable? Are you have pain in your feet? Like, or like, oh, or have I been standing for a while? Or vice versa. Have I been sitting for a long time and do I need to go like stretch my legs and go take a walk? Right. And the clothes that you are wearing, don't be dirty. Are they restrictive? Are they itchy? Like, do you have a tag that's bothering you? Like, but how are you feeling? You should feel comfortable. But like, what is going on right now? Do you need a sweater? Do you have an itchy sweater on that you just need to take off? Are you wearing layers? What is going on right now to tap back into the present, right? So those are some pieces. Now we're going to move into what I didn't write on the board, but I've alluded to slightly, which is your environment. So when we think about our environment, well, we have many environments. This could be, where you're physically working at this very moment, whether that is out in your brick and mortar or you have like a shared office space or in your home office, whatever the case may be. And this can also just be your home, even if you don't work within your home. So when we think about our environment, we're talking about presence. We need to move. Sometimes that is just the case. So, if we're staring at the same four walls, or we've got three walls in this beautiful window and we're still looking at it, we need to move. Get out, go do something else. So sometimes it's as easy as just getting some fresh air. So even if it's, below zero in a blizzard outside and you can't get outside, I understand. And if you maybe don't want to make the trek, but I would just get outside, get some fresh air without freezing your face off. But the key is if you can't do that, then switch rooms, switch your environment. If you're upstairs, go downstairs. If you're at your office, go home, or vice versa. Just get out and change your environment. If you just really can't do it, go to your car. Sometimes the best escape is your car and you can roll down the windows and you're getting fresh air that way. But I would highly recommend just getting outside, fresh air on your face, bring you back to the present moment. And when we really tap in, these are all very simple, not always easy, but simple strategies to get us back to presence. Because really, what I want you to take from this is that, well, A, you're not stuck. B, it's just a simple shift. All these small shifts can create the little bits of momentum, and then that momentum compounds. And before you know it, these are the small steps, these small tweaks, these small strategies that not only compound, but help you have that light bulb moment. Have you go, oh my God, I never would have thought about that. And it's the new thing that you plop in your business and exponentially drives your revenue. It's all these small, simple things that can make all of the difference. So you need to just get out of your head into the present moment and connect back with not only the present moment, but with yourself and within your body and what is going on right now. Because the time is always now. And I will say that always. The time is always now. It's not things that haven't happened yet. And it's not the things that have already happened. What we can control is who we are being and what we are doing in the now. So pause, take a breath, be present, and everything will start to open up and you will create and succeed and sustain and scale with simple shifts just like this through presence. So I really hope that that was helpful. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the things to help this information get out to more private practice owners. I invite you to check out my Fear Chronicles podcast, False Evidence Appearing Real, and my 2-minute Are You the Bottleneck quiz to find out who or what is slowing down your progress. And I'll see you in the next one.